Okay, welcome to an episode of Curiosity Builds Special Edition, the GabFest Ledger, which I think I'm going to be changing the name of that soon because I've got a new idea. So, really quick, who am I? Trevin Hauk. What do? I work for Hypandra, the Curiosity Engine, the company that uses AI tools to help people think better and make better decisions. I am going to try to do some live vibe coding here to create something for the Slate Political Gabfest 20th anniversary show that I'm going to in Washington, D.C. in about a week. I wanted to do something fun, and I wanted to, as my business partner says, bake 2 cakes in 1 pan. So making a curiosity build for that event and filming it to kind of learn in public and show my process through working with AI tools, and also create something for the show that I think might be interesting and they might find cool. So we'll see. We might not be successful, but we're going to give it a try. So I've already tried a little bit of this in the past, and I didn't really like what I was doing. I was trying to do something that like celebrated their 20 years. It's a podcast that I listen to all the time. I've been listening to it since 2009. I really get a lot of information. I find the hosts to be fun and informative and great debate, really good thought process, good discussion, and reasonable. So it's been fun, and I wanted to go see their show. They weren't coming over to the West Coast, so I got tickets to their show in DC. Very excited to go see it. And when I created this first site, let's pull it up here actually. So I'm going to run bundev in the terminal, which will pull up a local preview for us. Deedly-dee. Cool. So now we're going to check this local preview out here. Look at, I was overlay tips so that way you could see this little thing in the corner down here that I can't see, but you can. So you can see what I'm doing. So at first I came up with this idea to do some kind of like newspaper looking website that kind of showed the highlights of their careers and what they do. And I thought it was kind of cool, but I don't want to like step on toes either. So I thought about making a feature and making this actually the main point of the whole site, the conundrum desk or a conundrum generator. Every year they do a really fun show where they take conundrums that people submit to them and they discuss them, and it's more kind of like a refreshing break from the news and the regular format, but it's also a really fun way to explore your curiosity and use your thinking to take you where it leads, and riffing off of each other and kind of thinking about the different things you'd like to, push people on and get their answers to. It's really fun. So I think I'm going to try to work on that using our Hypandra AI Explorer feature and trying to tweak that into a way to generate a conundrum. This is like kind of a basic thing that the AI came up with on its own when I was just doing some kind of outlining. So we're going to refresh this and kind of dig into something a little more just focused on this. Although I think this is cool stuff. I think this looks great. These scrolls are fun. But this isn't what I want to go for this event. So we're going to try to cut this out and make it its own thing. All right. So I'm going to get back over to my agent. Oh, yeah, they had trouble with that image, but that's okay. Starting a new terminal. I am going to pull up the preview here, and you can do that by, on a Mac at least, Command-Shift-P, simple browser show, and then you can type in the local. Actually, you know what? Another way to do this I learned recently is I can just go new window. Whoops, not a whole new window. Actually, you know what? We're not going to do it that way. We're just going to do it the old way. There's a way that I can open the browser from a tab in here, but I lost it. I think I have to have a text file open, and then it has the options. It's kind of a weird, right? So if I have a new window profile, I've actually not spent a lot of time setting this up because I've only thought about it in terms of me and what I'm doing, not for other people that are watching. So text file, then it gives you this option over here to open a browser, and then I can put that here. It's kind of like the same thing, but I don't know why I just don't have that when that's open there. So we can see the local preview and the changes that I make. They'll hopefully show up on here as they happen, and I'll make this a little wider so we can kind of get the full breadth of the site. I'm going to be doing a lot of work over here in the chat feature on the side. So this is basically where you can choose your AI agents, right? And talk to them, and then they will work instead of working directly in the terminal. Although Cursor sent an email to me today, not to me personally, but like they sent out an email today that they introduced a new interface where you can work with agents like Claude Code directly inside their terminal, which I did download. And I think to get it started, you just do /agent, and then it launches it. Oh, maybe not. I wonder how that started up. I think it was /. Actually, I can look it up. I have it over here. I have the secret codes over here. The secret codes. Oh, is it /agent? I don't think so. I think it's just agent. I don't even need a slash. And then it comes up with this interface. So if you don't like if you're a terminal junkie, which might mean you don't need to be watching what I'm doing. If you like just working in the terminal, this allows you to do that. Although it's a little longer to change your agents and get information. Over here on the kind of input side that I'm used to, you can change the agent into plan, debug, ask. You can change the model that you're using here. Here, you need to do some more like slash commands. So I think it's /agent to see the different agents, or you can create an agent. Or no, it's model, I think. Model, yeah. Set the current model. So right now I'm using Codex in here. I don't know. We'll give it a try, perhaps. So why don't we, yeah, maybe we can just plan. Generating. What should I plan in this repo? Next step, feature something else. So I really like what I've done here, but it's different than I think I want to take it. So the Curiosity desk, the Conundrum desk here at the bottom, I want to focus on that and make that the main feature of the site. I don't want to necessarily undo all of the other content that I have. So let's make the Conundrum desk its own page and pull it out from this other page that I have. And then if I don't end up using it, I can just delete it, but at least it's still up in here if we want to like pull in different parts. I think that should be okay. So let's see. And for anybody wondering, this isn't regular speak to text. I use Whisper Flow. It's a speak to text software that's really handy. It uses AI. It cleans up your grammar and your spelling. You can train it very easily. I think it's way more intuitive than any of the speak to text interfaces that I've seen in native chat apps like iMessage. I don't think those do a great job. And then you can set the level of professionalism. Like, you know, do I want it to be completely well written? Do I want it to be so like in the middle, or do I want it to be casual, like for texting? It's been really helpful. I use it because I don't have full use of my fingers right now. I had hand surgery, so I love it. All right, let's see if this works out in a cool way like it does on the side. I'm pretty sure it's just basically importing the side chat over here. There are some other things it says it can do, including explore mode, where you can have it pull up a whole kind of like mock-up of what you're doing. I haven't played with it yet. I might try to do it right now. Yeah, we'll see. Let's see how this goes first. This is enough newness for me right now. And this is different from the other Curiosity Builds video. Those are individual features. I'm trying to make them more concise and get better at making videos for people and explaining what I'm doing and showing what I'm doing. This is also that, but additionally it's a pet project, so it might be a little longer, and I might not have as well thought out of a script here while I'm working on it. So yeah, created the Conundrum page TX with dedicated Conundrum desk, updated the home link. If you want, I can also add a top level nav or Conundrum desk homepage while keeping the current front page as a secondary route. Okay. So you just did this in plan mode, correct? We haven't executed a build, right? I'm still getting used to this interface. And if you don't like this interface, you can always go back to the side that I normally use. Correct, no build is run. I made actual code changes in the repo, but I didn't execute a new build or dev command. If you want, I can run bun dev or bun build. I know that there's like an exploratory feature that's added by Cursor CLI or for the Cursor CLI. Is there a way we can spin that up for this conundrum desk we're trying to make? Let's see if it knows what it's talking about. Yeah, is the Cursor Explore project indexing view a local preview server or something else? I think it's the Explore project indexing view, I think. Let's see. If you want, tell me what you want to see in Explore and I can help troubleshoot. The Explore project indexing view is a Cursor UI feature, not something I can start here via code. It should auto-index when the workspace is open. If you're not seeing it, open the Explore tab in Cursor. Make sure the root is, okay, let's try that. So, where is the Explore tab at? Where is the Explore tab at in Cursor? I don't know. I'm going to guess it's one of these. Where is the Explore tab in Cursor? Left sidebar, search source control. So the left sidebar, oh yeah, I have it hidden. So we can go here, toggle, and then explore, search, branch, extension. This is explore, right? Explore is this guy. Oh, it did work. Because where's the conundrum desk? Or the, yeah, right? So, let's see. Yeah, open the front page, meet the host, browse the top, visit the conundrum desk. Okay, so it did put it over here in its own spot. All right, all right. Inspired by seeds, not quotes. Yeah, they seeded this, or AI seeded this. I'm wondering if I should take some conundrums that they've had and put that into the prompt and do some training on it more so it comes up better with conundrums. That piece though, I want to work on after I get the interface first. I want some people build kind of the inside first and then you want to put a pretty box around it for the user. Because I'm not a coder and I'm a user, right? I'm a customer typically. For me, I want to build the outside of the car, what I want it to look like first, and then I'll figure out how the inside works. So that's my approach here. So great, it moved it over. I love it. So I do see it now in this. It's basically the same as the local host. It's not anything different, I don't think, right? Because the conundrum desk used to be on the bottom here and now it's moved. So, all right. I don't think this is something I want to engage with much more. I want to do this the way I've been doing it before until I get used to this a little bit. So let's just exit this. I think you can just type in exit. Yeah, cool. And then we will move back over to our little side agent. Oops, sorry, side agent over here. Make this a little bigger. Okay, and I'm going to use GPT Codex. Okay, so we've moved the conundrum desk to its own page. I want to focus on that interface. I think this newspaper look is not great for the conundrum desk feature. I want it to be a little more interesting. I do like the layout right now in terms of the pill boxes, like these little buttons and the rounded sides. I think that looks good. This is just gobbledygook. We have to clean up the content more. So for the conundrum desk feature, though, it would be cool if it looked more like a desk. Like you're sitting there and there's, a piece of paper sitting on top of the desk. And on the side, there's these different interactive buttons for generating a conundrum. In the Hypandra repo, in the Explore section, we have the ability to build or change your questions. I want to see if we can pull that over as well and use that for the conundrum part. But we want to build a plan here. So I'm going to turn it into plan mode. And I am recording everything I'm saying, which is fine. Once I let go of this button, it'll list it all out here, including what I'm saying right now. Oh, and I let go already. Yeah, so let me delete some of that. We'll just delete from there. So let's create a plan that improves the Conundrum Desk page layout and pulls in the features from the Explore tool that Hypandra has. So I want a desk-looking interface where the input on the middle of the desk is where you type your conundrum, or you can have a conundrum generated and then interact with it. On the side of the desk is going to be those interactive buttons. Let's see what you come up with, and we'll go from there. So it's a pretty complicated and lofty plan. Sometimes, for example, if you watch the Borderless Wire videos that I do, I try to do one feature at a time. It's simple, it's straightforward. I know where I'm going. I know the Legos that I want to use to build the end result. For this, it's so much more up in the air. I'm not sure exactly. You can tell what I want it to be. So I'm being lofty. I'm being a little broad to try to see what it comes up with. And then if it gives me something interesting, I'll tell you right now, this Conundrum Desk idea, this was my idea, but I didn't call it the Conundrum Desk, but I love that it did that. So it gives me some inspiration too. So we'll see what it comes up with. It's going to ask me some questions here in the plan mode. Which Explore features do you want to bring over to the Conundrum Desk? Edit, build questions inline, generate multiple variants to pick from, tone, intent controls or sliders, follow-up prompts, deeper rabbit holes, saved, recent question history. So I do think we want the edit and build and the multiple variants to pick from. And this, I don't know. You know what? Why not just do all of it and we can delete later? Hopefully this doesn't make it too complicated. Continue. Oh, I skipped this first question. Where should I pull the Explorer question builder from? It lives in this repo. It does not. It lives in another repo, Hypandra. It definitely does. So I'll have to go get the Hypandra file path. The local path to Hypandra, use default path, user, that's exactly right. Any constraints for the desk look? Open the palette changes as long as it feels like a desk. Keep the pill buttons. Pill buttons can be restyled slightly. I'm open to palette changes, and the pill buttons can be restyled slightly. Okay, let's see what it does. Exciting. I love asking me questions that I wasn't expecting it to ask. I did know it was going to ask me what features to bring over. I didn't expect the UI design question, which is cool. It hasn't given me too many of those. But we'll see the plan here. Once it gets the plan running, it will usually pop up here on the big screen as well in a rich text format, which rich text, if you don't know, it's just instead of just straight up text on a screen that's like looking at a coding terminal or just a plain old typing, it gives more complex look. So there's formatting, right? There's bolding, there's lists, there's, this is a form of rich text. What's in the terminal is typically not. When you type terminal stuff, there's not a lot of formatting going on. Okay, so it is waiting for me to tell it to build. Let's see what it said. Context from the current code, the page wrapper and header live, that's where it's at. The existing desk UI is a single card with chips, seed input and output. The Explore build tools we want to pull over. It's listing all of those. The plan. The plan is update the desk to a 2-pane layout with essential paper main content sitting on a desk background. Keep the pill buttons to allow slight restyling as requested. Adjust the page header. Add utility classes. port over the Explorer and editing build tools. So it's going to create local components. It's going to basically take something we've already created and put it here, which makes these kind of builds much faster. We're trying to work on a library where we can call these things up pretty quickly with common names that we've assigned to it. That's a future state, but wouldn't that be handy? And stuff like this, I've already banked a few things, like our main website. We have this thing called the Curiosity Carousel that I came up with myself. Pretty impressed with it, if I do say so. This little carousel that spins. And now I've used this feature in a couple of other ways. This was a lot of back and forth with some agents to create, but yeah, it was fun. And now I can mention the carousel and my agent and cursor understand what I'm talking about. So anyway, back to this. Follow-ups and history behaviors. Introduce a local activity log to show recent transformation and selection. Add follow-ups. Add a lightweight local history list. Write to existing conundrum generation. Keep the generate conundrum as the base generator. If needed, add a new API route. Sure. Copy and clean up. To-dos. So this gives us the to-do list that it's got. Desk layout. Port over the tools and feature wrap. Copy and clean up. Notes on the sources to adapt. Hypandra components to mirror. Got it. We'll keep using existing conundrum desk state shape, but add transformation states for variants. Okay, cool. I could give it a new to do if I wanted to. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else we want to add in here to this? Perhaps we want to make sure. Yeah, we'll add a new to do. Make sure that the conundrum feature is front and center on the page and the user doesn't have to scroll or find it. It's just right there, ready to go. Okay. All right. Build a new agent. I could do that, but I won't. All right. We're going to give it a go. It's going to build. So now it's going to plan its moves, it's going to do its calls, and it's going to give it a try. And it won't be good the first time. It'll just be some movement, and we'll have to iterate almost certainly, especially something as complex as this. I'm planning on making several videos trying to build this over the week. My goal is to have it built by Friday, if possible, so it's usable, preferably before then, but I think I'll have to do this a few times. So as it builds, it'll check off the things that it's doing. Right now, it's working on this. Once this is checked, it'll drop down to the next to do. It usually works in order, but sometimes it jumps around. It just depends. This might take a while, so you might see the screen, dim and come back because I might speed it up so we don't have to sit here and wait. Okay, so it's doing some redesign right now, so there's going to be a lot of errors and things popping up. This does not necessarily mean there's a permanent error. It just means there's an error right now while it's working. This could be resolved, so I don't feel alarm or panic like I used to. It's just got to work through stuff. It's got to work through stuff. You can refresh it out here too. It's showing the main page. We've been working on this, though, that it's adding. Application client has occurred while loading localhost. No worries. See, it's working on its stuff right now. It's getting there. It's getting there. See, it's importing features I see over here. It's making it try to look more like a desk. Look at that. It just added some color. It's really fun to watch it iterate in real time, or build in real time, excuse me, especially when it does auto refresh. Which it doesn't always do. It's great stuff. So we're getting there. I'll say the layout and the design is what I'm least concerned about. It's actually getting this to generate interesting and fun conundrums, and just making a fun, cool little tool that people can play with just to kill time and make themselves curious about different things. So it did all of its to-dos. It did not do the remaining to do yet. I don't think. Well, let's double check. Did it do all its to-dos? Yeah, it did. It's just working on my last front and center thing, which might need some more not run. If you want, I can run BunDev and do a quick visual pass out of tighter wood desk. Yeah. BunDev is already running, but go ahead and do a visual pass. And maybe make the desk look a little more wood grained. We'll see what that comes up with. But I like this. I like this. Only took about 30 minutes, almost exactly, to get here. And I'll be cutting out a few minutes of video because of the just waiting for it to build. Because even though it's AI and it's doing it all automatically and in times faster than any human typing code by hand could do, it still takes time. It's still got to actually build it. So, yeah, look at this. Not bad. When do we decide a public mistake is a mistake of character, not a policy? How much privacy would you trade for civic trust in institutions again? What does a fair compromise look like when every side is convinced it's losing? These are already not bad, and it hasn't even been trained that well. So it looks like it applied the wood grain over the top of like this part. So I couldn't run a live visual pass because browser procedural schemes aren't available. That's totally fine. Let's update this. Okay, I like the wood grain, except I don't want it to pass over the top of the desk tool cards. I just want it to be on the very back of the Conundrum desk card, the one that's the darker color brown. And then the Conundrum desk working paper, the desk tools, and all of those just need to be gradient free, just like they were previously. Okay. And then that might be enough for at least the first little video here. Get this little commit going. One thing I need to do is purchase a URL for this. Right now this is just kind of living on my computer. Yeah, look at that. Better. Still too much going on. I still want this to be smaller. In fact, we could probably get that cleaned up right now. Why not? Okay. Great, I like that. So for the build section, I want all of those options that you have to be a drop down. It's extending too far down, and let's do that for the tone as well. So keep the same theme and style that you have here, but make the button options under those sections an expandable list that doesn't move the entire page down, so we can keep most of the Conundrum desk up in one view. The goal is to scroll as little as possible. I don't know about you, but I find having to scroll around, unless it's for very specific situations, annoying. You want people to see the information right away. You want them to see the tool, the button, the pathway immediately, especially if you're trying to get new people interested in what you're doing or people that aren't used to what you're doing. If you hide stuff or bury stuff or have too much text, it's just really overwhelming. And that's personal experience and learning through that. I mean, when I create stuff just for myself, I don't care if it's overwhelming. I like to read. I like lots of animations. I like fun stuff. But that's typically not what you want when you're delivering something to others. You want it to be accessible. So it did. Look at this. Nice little thing. I don't know why. This is like a constant bug. I'm just going to call it out. This little, see, this didn't work here. But when I click this, how that shifted over, our main website does that. And it is so annoying. I spent like 2 hours trying to fix it on my own to impress Daniel. Couldn't do it. And then found out it's actually a really hard thing to do, at least as far as we're concerned. So yeah, this is looking better. Build log, recent history. Let's get rid of the build log section. And then the open build tools button, just have it say build tools. And then I want the options to drop down, but I want you to be able to scroll through the options and not have the whole page move to see everything, if that makes sense. Maybe just show a few at a time and have a little button you can click through, or just something that tightens it up. And then whatever you do for that, apply that to the tone section as well. All right, let's see what we get here. and then I will commit this and call it a day because I got other work to work on. But yeah, I'm liking how this is looking so far.